Benjamin Netanyahu suggests microchipping kids, slammed by experts. Benjamin Netanyahu's suggestion was shot down in Israel, but this is exactly what Bill Gates and the ID 2020 Alliance envision, not just for school children, but for the population of the entire world. Just as 911 was used as an excuse to deny Americans freedoms via the Patriot Act, COVID-19 will be used as an excuse to give every single person on earth a digital ID that will connect to a global database. Revelation 13:16-18. He calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666.
Mass curfews, mass quarantines, lockdowns everywhere.
But let's talk about mass surveillance.
Want to fight COVID-19? There's an app for that. Facial recognition, GPS, Bluetooth, they make it easy. Contain the spread. But some want to know, who's policing the police? Release this app that logs everyone you bump into. The German government has an optional smartwatch app that tracks your pulse, temperature, and sleep. And if you're quarantined in Hong Kong, you have to wear an electronic wristband. Police are also flying drones. This US company says it can even tell
social distancing, heart.
Police in the UK have been building up a facial recognition database by scanning people in designated areas. Russian police also use facial recognition to monitor protesters.
With biometric data collection seemingly available at nearly every street corner, the authorities say they can easily catch criminals.
Other countries like India and Kenya are phasing in a national ID card that's linked to your
earlobe shape, their GPS.
Without the card, people can't access things like loans or help. Cameras are pretty much everywhere, one for roughly every 8 people. Police once used facial recognition to track down a wanted man at a concert with 60,000 people. Cameras are even used to enforce China's social credit system, which ranks businesses and citizens in their behavior. In Hubei, where the virus first broke out, police used cameras, drones, and facial recognition to quarantine 56 million people. Even as lockdowns ease up, millions of Chinese people are still being monitored. In some cities, they have to log their health and travel history in an app that generates a color code. To leave home or go shopping, security has to give you the green light.
It initially developed to monitor and control the Palestinians.
But the Israeli Supreme Court put on the brakes.
We know, especially
some of those powers are still around.
I hope you see where this is all going. Society is fast moving toward the mark of the beast. As smart devices continue to advance, going from your phone to your watch, the next logical place will be in or on your right hand or forehead. When the lockdown is finally lifted, the America you remember will no longer exist. As a matter of fact, the whole world will never be the same.
What they believe were President Trump's failings, that's just ridiculous. This is about dealing with what I think is the most existential threat to the United States, to liberty around the world, to a free world order that we've ever faced.
Areas held by Haftar's forces. Attacks on civilian areas in Tripoli are becoming more common. People in the city have lived with shelling, drone strikes and other aerial attacks from Haftar's forces, while the ground war comes closer to their homes. Several international institutions, along with the United Nations, have been calling on Haftar's forces.
It's the first weekend since Hong Kong's strict social distancing rules were eased. Many shops and restaurants opened expecting celebrations for Mother's Day. Instead, there were scenes like this in several shopping malls across the city. Protesters would appear in different parts of the mall, then disperse as soon as there was word that police were on their way. The chants for independence are likely to provoke Beijing and the Hong Kong government, whom the protesters say had taken advantage of the coronavirus outbreak.
In the midst of the coronavirus, the government has imposed restrictions on gathering and turned it into a crackdown on freedom of assembly.
Most of the crowds on Sunday were part of or supported the pro-democracy protests last year, which would often lead to violent confrontations between police and demonstrators to further erode Hong Kong's freedoms. And many here are calling this the start of protest season.
You may be at church, you may be at work, you may be asleep. God grant that you will be ready when he makes his personal appearance. My God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning? My prophetic word to you this morning is get ready.